Hello everyone, welcome back to this companion series of tutorials to A.K. Warder's Grammar Guide, An Introduction to Pali. Today, in Lesson 28, we tie up some loose ends. We'll cover the middle or reflexive endings, the denominative verb derivation, and the fourth and final class of present stem verb conjugation. This is Pali Studies on the Learn Pali channel. So, we begin with the reflexive, or what Warder calls the middle conjugation. These are a set of alternate endings to the active voice verb inflections that we've seen so far. They are so called because they are etymologically related to the middle voice of ancient Greek. Let's quickly recap voice. The active voice is where the grammatical subject is also the agent performing the action, while the passive voice is where the grammatical subject of the verb undergoes the action, and any agent will be in the instrumental case. The third type of voice is where the agent is being acted upon, and so the agent and the target are the same, in a similar fashion to reflexive pronouns that we saw in Lesson 22. So the implication is that the reflexive or middle conjugation indicate that the action or state expressed by the verb affects only the subject. However, in Pali they have largely lost this reflexive meaning, and are used merely as an alternate set of active voice endings, mainly in poetry or eloquent speech. As far as I know, they only exist for some finite verbs. The aorist is a little complicated by the fact that there are several conjugations, but Warder simplifies and reduces them down to a single table here. And although he doesn't mention them, the future also has forms very similar to the present indicative. Also, don't be confused by what is sometimes called the reflexive participle ending mana, which also has become just a regular active voiced ending, and we saw this in Lesson 8. Right, moving on. In Lesson 25, when we looked at the nominal derivatives, I mentioned a secondary derivation where, in principle, any noun can itself become the base for a verb. And these are called denominatives. In actual fact, such verbs are not common. According to Warder, when they occur, they are usually conjugated like the seventh class of verbs, taking aya or aya, which can be contracted to just ya or e. But I think they can also be found with a connecting I sound. So from a noun or adjective, we get a verb, and these can then be inflected to any tense or mood as normal. The meaning of such derived denominatives can generally be taken as to act like or become like, to treat as, to use or play, or to wish for or desire like. Okay. Next, Warder introduces the final verb class of present stem conjugation. This is a small class which form their present stems by the suffix no, and as Warder discusses, perhaps the only verb of this class is su, to hear, which is actually more usually found as a fifth class conjugation. Well, that's all I have to say about that. And this brings Lesson 28 to a close. There's a link down in the description below to translations for the exercises. And in the next lesson we continue tying up loose ends with some more uncommon verb conjugations and noun declensions. As always, don't forget my other tutorials and my blog.